Could people
That
hear
is
that?
new.
We're back.
We're back.
Recording is in progress. I don't know if everybody heard that. We are have begun the recording, according to the artificial intelligence that just told us
Yeah.
that.
Well, welcome to the Cavalry, everyone.
Welcome to the Cavalry. It's good to. I feel like I've seen you a lot lately, Johnny. We've been doing shows together, bonus podcasts. So we did 2 last week. If you want to hear the one we did with our wives, Erin and Heidi, you got to join the Patreon. We're up on the Patreon, the Cavalry Podcast, the Patreon.com.
Sold out. We sold out, baby.
No, it's not sold out, Johnny. Please.
I said we sold out.
Oh, we sold out. Yeah, the Patreon is not sold out yet. You can still, there's still spots available.
There's still some room.
So if you want to hear, it was a good episode, I thought, and also, I want to tease it a little bit. A controversial or not, almost unprecedented, just total offer for Johnny getting backed up. No one even got close. So if you want to hear what possible controversial take Johnny had to not get backed up by me, Erin, or Heidi, you've got to tune in on the Patreon and to unlock the bonus episode. But we won't.
But enough about that.
Enough about that. How are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I'm on the Zoom. We're on the. It's funny because I did a show for there's a comedy class at Helium Comedy Club, and they were doing a graduation show virtually. Mm-hmm. And my friend Alex, who teaches the class, he's like, "Hey, I'd like you, if you could do a set on the class, that would be nice because I want people to like see a comedian that they will now see in the scene, like someone around town." I was like, "Sure, of course, Yeah. And then I log into the Zoom and I start, and he's like, "Why are you Scott E?" Because on my Zoom, we use sometimes I stay logged into this. We steal the Stand Up to Corona Zoom, where we do the charity shows for, and there's a guy Scott that we work for those, and I steal his Zoom account to do some of these.
If we have a guest
or with multiple people, that's right. So the whole point was for people to like, hey, here's this guy Andrew. If you see him out there, you can say hi. But now they're gonna look for Scott E.
Or they're gonna be like, wait a minute. So if I'm a working comedian, I can't even afford my own Zoom account. Is that what I'm supposed to understand?
Well, yeah. I didn't even think about that, but that's true. They're like, wait, so your show business name is Scott E? Why?
But you still get brought up as Andrew? This is confusing.
I don't understand. But
I did a Zoom show it's like 2 hours ago, and it was fine. It was for 5 guys. It was 5 guys. I don't know what the organization, not the restaurant, like literally 5 men. And it was fine, but then at the end I'm doing my last joke and I hit the punchline and I look and their expressions have not moved. Their faces have not changed at all. And I was like, oh boy, am I going to have to do another joke to try to... And then all of a sudden the screen disappeared. Like my thing just shut. The Zoom
just
shut
like
down.
Yeah.
And then it popped back up and said reconnecting. So it had frozen. And then I just got kicked out of the meeting. I don't know if it was my internet. And then I came back and then, it starts reconnecting. And it's Courtney. And he's like, I guess he's back. Like he was talking to them like, well, what the hell happened? I don't know, And he's like, oh, Johnny's back. And I was like, oh, sorry about that. What was the last thing that you guys heard? And nobody had any idea. They're like, one guy said some joke I did a long time ago, and he was dead serious. The other guys were like, no. He did like this. So clearly it was a riveting set.
It would have been worse. At least you knew that you cut out, though. I mean, it would have been worse if they're like, what was the last joke? Or where did I leave off? And they were like, literally said the punchline. And so they gave you nothing. Because they heard you, but then Zoom like canceled you. Zoom was like, pull the plug, get him off the stage. Some guy in China was monitoring the feed and was like, well, "This can't be. We can't."
They did hear, and I just assumed I got disconnected. What the hell?
Everyone
you guys are back. What did you hear?
That's what I do at these. Now that I'm back doing live shows, the crowd is staring at me blank. You guys seem frozen. What's going on? Is there a glitch? A technical problem?
Yeah, you guys need to unmute.
And you hear stuff like that because people, and that does happen. It makes these virtual shows very annoying. The technical challenges, and so you think like it's so nice to get back to doing live shows. And this last weekend I did shows at a comedy club in Seattle called Laughs, and it was super fun. And there's none of those technical glitches, but there's still like comedy club things that happened. And literally during the host, I think it was this on Saturday at the early show, the host was on stage and there was this weird like noise. There's just some strange noise, and it was like almost like crickets. So it was like funny at first because like literal crickets were going off. I mean, he was having a good set, but then it was more like a cooing, like a coo coo coo, like I can't do the pigeon noise, but it was like to me it became clear it was a pigeon, and the host like made a joke about it, and people laughed, and then it happened again, and he made another joke, but then after a while it just keeps happening. There's nothing else you can say.
You can only joke about it for so long.
Right. So then he just powers through with this pigeon. So then I'm like, I guess I got to go find this pigeon, because the other people in the club were busy. So I start walking around the back of the club.
That's the comic's responsibility.
The people don't know that. If you get into stand-up, you need to identify birds and learn how to safely scare them away. So I was up on a chair. It was in the ventilation shaft, I discovered. And so I get up on a chair and I'm like banging on the grate to scare the pigeon away. And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh man, comedy's back. It's like, where's the Zoom set? Honestly, I can deal with a little bit of glitching. I didn't have to scare pigeons away.
Oh God.
But no,
I saw your post on that.
Yeah, it was a true story.
So that was this past weekend? Wait, was that when you were in Seattle?
That's in Seattle, yeah.
My brother texted and was like, hey, I couldn't find Andrew. He disappeared after the show. So he tried to find you.
Which show did he go to?
Oh, God, I have no idea.
Oh, well,
Friday? I think Friday.
Oh, okay.
He obviously didn't put much effort into it.
I hung out. I was trying to not, shake everybody's hands, but given what's going on. I mean, I'm vaccinated, but still, I was around. I don't know what. I should have said something on stage. Like I know at every show, Johnny's brother is coming to one of these. Please identify yourself.
Identify yourself.
Yeah. But he lives in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I there'll be more shows, and I'm sure I'll run into.
Yeah, he just got engaged.
Whoa!
Shout out to Ben and Noreen.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have to. You'll have to give him a present or something. I'm not going to take responsibility for that.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
So Duncan, I had to race back from one of his games. Today was an incredible. This is his first time playing baseball, and the first couple times it was great. It was fine, whatever. Tonight they played this was their third game. They played the team that takes it way too fucking seriously.
Oh no.
It was brutal.
God.
Me and a dad were standing next to the dugout of the team, and this lady comes up to us like, hey, which one of you guys is doing the scoreboard? And I was like, I don't know. We were looking at each other like, I don't know. I mean, the first two games they had, no one kept score, so it doesn't matter. And she was like, no, it's your team's responsibility to do the scoreboard. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she was just like, okay, who's your team ambassador? And we were like, there's a coach. What are you talking about? And she's like, well, one of you needs to go to the concession stand and get the controls, and it's it's Bluetooth or wireless, whatever, and keep score. And we're like, who is this bitch? Just barking. We're a couple of dad. What are you talking about? So I just kind of was like, and then the other dad. It's kind of like a game of chicken. I just didn't say anything. And then he was like, where's the control box? And she's like, in the concession. So he ended up having to keep track of the ball, the strikes, the outs, the score, all that shit. I guarantee I couldn't go a whole game without making multiple mistakes on that.
Well, that's what you do for revenge, because you know how much it would bother this lady to just screw it up, you know?
Yeah.
So if you just constantly got the score, you kept adding runs to your team when they score, you know, stuff like that.
You just keep signaling. How does this work? I can't figure out the
I don't
control.
know. I think it's the Bluetooth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
I'm a kid's dad. I'm not the ambassador.
Yeah, I'm not I'm not the team ambassador.
Jesus. But anyway, so this team, they have a rule, 5 runs, and they switch. Like if you don't get 3 outs.
Right, because it would go on
First
forever.
inning, 5 zip. Second inning, 10 zip. I mean, it was brutal. It was brutal. Like, I was getting madder than any game I've ever watched in my life, you know, and it doesn't matter. Like at the first couple games, I thought, oh, they just don't keep score in this league because you know, they're learning how to play. The coaches are on the field. A machine is on the pitcher's mound pitching. Right. You know, so I just figure, oh, they're not keeping score. Oh my God, these kids, that team, they took it so serious. They got like, you know, they basically got like weights on the bats while they're waiting to go up.
Oh yeah, the donuts.
Yeah, the donuts, and then meanwhile, our team, the first baseman, the other team hit the ball. The pitcher, you know, ran and got the ball, threw it to the first baseman. He's just standing there, and the ball went bonk, hit him in the head because he wasn't paying attention. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Oh my God!
It is
just
funny.
like, yep, these are definitely 2 different caliber teams.
But it's weird because it's all the same league. So like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what
it's
did
all
they,
the same
what to
league,
what
the same
end?
age.
I always assume. See, I can't. It changes so much too from like when we were kids. How now there's different types of leagues and like select teams and travel, you know, and as soon as you get older and there's like in basketball, there's like AAU and all these other different branches off, and they all have different levels of severity, you know, and how competitive it is. But I always assumed like you said at coach pitch, I guess there's no. So then they all just kind of gather up their ultra competitive friends who have kids who they've been in baseball camp with since they were like 2. Like, let's all be on the same team or something. But,
I mean, our team is like full. There's like 1 or 2 kids that like it seems like they've played before and they're pretty good. But the rest of them, like, you know, swing after the catcher or, you know, the ball's gone by 4 seconds ago and they're swinging. They're like chop swinging, you know, and shit like that. Oh my God! And it's a pitching machine. This other team, there's a kid. I've never seen this. I mean, this is my 3rd game, but I've never seen a kid not swing at the ball. It's a pitching machine. It goes the same place every time. He's like, nope, that's not for me. The coach is like, good eye. What?
No, because the wind can affect it. You know, I think the wind knocked it.
Yeah.
I was telling my mom, I saw my mom this weekend while I was in Seattle, and I was telling her how you were the first base coach, and you were texting me, what should I say? Because
I didn't get your text until I think after the game. I think your advice, your real advice.
Well, so I was giving you all this bad advice, but my mom was talking about coach, and you know, and I was like tragically bad at baseball. And my brothers were both very good and very competitive, you know. Yeah. But I remember I struck out once during coach pitch. See, before they had the pitching machine, it was coach pitch. Yeah. So your own coach would pitch to you. And I struck out. And then there was all this politics about, well, he didn't throw it well, you know, whatever. He throws it. My friend Jason would get like a hit every time. He's like, yeah, but he gets better pitches. It's like the coach has it in for me or something. But I struck out and I would like cry, you know, I cried like a baby, and my dad came over and he was trying to make me feel better. He's like, well, even Ken Griffey Jr. strikes out sometimes, you know, to make me feel better. Yeah. I was like, but even as a kid, I was like, yeah, but his own coach isn't pitching to him, you know. There's a guy actively trying to strike him out. Right. He doesn't strike out during batting
helping
practice.
Him. Oh my God, that's funny. I talk about that in my act. This is a true story. I only played baseball 1 season, and I was like older. I mean, I was like 5th or 6th grade, and my dad took me out for ice cream on a game because I got walked. That was like the big celebration. I got on base. I got out at second or whatever, but like, because I thought you could run through second. But like, that was like a real thing. Like, all right, we're gonna go celebrate. What happened?
What if your
pitcher sucked on the other team?
You know what would be hilarious is if your son got like incredibly good at baseball, and then you had to become one of these dads that was like, you had you get the truck so you can carry all the different bats and ball, and you have to take them out like 4 hours to different tournaments every weekend and
learn how baseball works.
And you're gonna be like, yeah, you'll be like the lady with the scoreboard, like telling her how to run things and.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It could happen,
Have they ever had do they ever have what would happen in a major league game if they just hit foul ball, like if someone hit foul balls nonstop, like all night?
I'll tell you what.
Is there a limit?
There's no limit, and it does happen. And then
really?
Yeah, that's why no one watches baseball anymore. It's a flawed game. No, and then they make like small changes to baseball every once. They did it this year, I think, because of COVID. But they because if it's tied, they go to extra innings. And baseball is like the one sport that could go on indefinitely. There's no time element,
Right.
So like to speed it up now, when it goes to extra innings, they have a guy starting off on second base automatically. The idea is
in Major League.
In Major League, because with COVID, they just wanted things to go faster. I don't know why. But I think it's like a sneaky way. It's more exciting, and they're like, these games cannot go on for 6 hours. People won't
they
take
realize
it,
everyone
won't
has
stand
shit
for
to
it.
do.
Yeah. So, and yeah, attention spans are not getting longer, So, but anyway, yeah, I've sat there and watched 17 foul ball, you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, and they can just keep going, and they applaud it. The announcers be like, oh wow, what a great at bat by Johnson. You're like, no, this is like the worst at bat I've ever seen. This is like a nightmare. Please end this.
Oh my!
If I were a pitcher and you fouled it off like 3 times in a row, it's going straight at your head the next time. I'm done. There's no that would make me so mad. I would throw it at your manager or something. I would just really throw it at your family in the stands. I'd be so frustrated.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but to answer your question, there is. I mean, major leaguers. I mean, it's not like, I assume with like little kids, maybe they could literally it's like 50 foul balls in a row or something. I don't know, but no, there's like 20 pitch at bats sometimes.
Yeah.
And they think it's like they get all hard for it. They think it's like great. They think they really think the batter, he's battling. That's what they say.
He's battling.
Meanwhile, the crowd is shooting themselves.
He's battling, and the crowd is looking to beat the crowd out of the stadium.
Yeah. So baseball's tough. Some people really love it, and I try to like it, and I still try to root for the Mariners, my hometown team.
Yeah.
But then they suck. They've set a record 20 years without going to the playoffs, and so they're hard to root for now. And when I was growing up,
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah,
Mariner?
yeah. When I was growing up, it was Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson and Edgar Martinez. We had all these fun A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez. We had all these great fun players, and there's it was so easy to love baseball. And now, I can't name one of these dudes.
Oh man,
it's tough. But,
it's a lot more fun when your son is playing.
Yeah. So you enjoy it when he's out there and at bat and stuff. It's kind of cool, right?
He's about as good as me in the outfield as far as knowing what to do with the ball if he gets it.
Yeah.
But that's most of the kids out there.
Yeah.
But he's better at batting.
And then it's more just to see if you like it.
Yeah.
Because you get good when you get older. See, I got a lot better at sports in high school. I was pretty bad at sports till I guess 7th and 8th grade I got a little better at basketball, but high school is when I really sort of got more into sports and stuff. I was known for being bad. My mom, she pulled me from baseball. She wouldn't let me play anymore. She
because I
was so bad. So my older brother was pretty good, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm worried about his confidence." She was like worried about my confidence because I sucked so bad. So she like put me in drama camp.
How thoughtful.
Yeah.
Is it because I suck? No, it's because we think you might think you suck.
Yeah, we're worried with all your sucking that you might take it the wrong way.
Yeah. You might catch on.
You might realize how much sucking you're doing. So
Yeah.
we're gonna put you in drama camp.
It's funny because I didn't play sports at all after like once I started high school. All my sports was before high school. It was all through grade school and all that stuff. And then in high school, I started the cross country team, and I quit the day before the first meet because I got into the all girls high school play, and I was like, yeah, I'd rather hang out with girls than run. Running sucks. So I quit the day before the meet.
Cross country looks like. You think baseball's boring? Like, how do people like if your kid does cross country? You have to watch that. Like, what do you do? You just park a lawn chair at the and see your kid every
spot?
one spot, and kind of like, well, there they go. All right, see them in 40 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't realize is cross country even a spectator sport?
Yeah, because Heidi and I went to the park. This was during COVID, but in Portland we went to the park, and they were doing a cross country meet. Like, and the kids were all wearing masks. So,
oh yeah,
think how awful it is to run. But then they all had to wear masks. I felt bad for them. But then there were parents there and stuff, just kind of watching.
Oof.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I'm not gonna tell my kids about cross country.
No, we
should. And how ironic now that I actually do run a lot.
I know. You actually, that's the sport you should get them into because you could give them lots of pointers.
You want to hear something stupid? I went for a run last night. I ran 3.7 miles at, I think, 1:45 last night. That's the only time I had. I literally had no other time all day to run. And I had to do like this Upwork and, freelance stuff at night. So I was like, okay, I got to do that now. And then I got done. I was like, I have to beat Phil on the Nike leaderboard. I cannot give up a day.
Dude, so we talked about this before, but you actually are addicted. That is addict behavior.
Just May. I'm gonna pump the brakes in June. Yes, we talked about it.
This Nike app is hooked into your veins.
Mm-hmm.
Running around at 1 in the. I mean, you live in a safe neighborhood, so
yeah,
you don't really have to worry. But you got to worry about cars and traffic and stuff. Were you wearing like a safety vest or some sort of?
No, I never do. I just think I'm going to hear them. There's not a lot of Priuses or Tesla like silent cars.
Yeah, that's true.
Here.
Wisconsin, you hear them coming.
And I always run on the opposite side, so they're coming at me, so I can see them. So I'm not going to get clipped from behind,
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I've thought about that before. Like when you're walking on a highway, sometimes it's like a little scary walking on a highway and there's no sidewalk or something. Like
yeah,
and you go towards. It seems counterintuitive, but it is smarter, I think, to go toward traffic than
because then I like when cars come, I hop on the grass instead of the shoulder. The only way I'm gonna die is if someone like is coming at me and they're fishing for their phone and they veer under the shoulder or under the grass and kill me.
Yeah, and that never happens.
Yeah, as it's such a low percentage. I'll play that. I'll play those odds.
No one's ever.
It's so stupid though, because I literally wear like black shorts, black t-shirt, black fanny pack, and I close my eyes when I run. But at night, it's you see headlights.
You actually put on the like black, the eye black, like you're a commando.
Yeah, I put on a ninja costume. And, yeah, exactly.
You paint yellow lines up your back so you look like a continuation of the road.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh boy. Well, buddy.
Well, that's some hot pre-show banter.
Coming at you on just a regular old episode of the Cavalry. But do you need any backup this week, my friend?
You want me to go first?
If you want.
All right, I'll go first. So this is something that I guess I basically need backup. I'll explain it. I basically need backup that this is justified, and that I'm not a lunatic or overly sensitive.
Okay.
So if you're talking to a person, so I have a friend that I'll be talking to, and they're very passionate. So they'll be talking about something, that they're very angry about, take whatever in the news. And it'll slowly, their anger towards this topic will slowly, they're not doing it on purpose. And I realize this, but then they start directing it at me while they're talking. Like it just shifts. Like they'll be like, oh
Right.
my God, do you see what that racist piece of shit did? He goes on, are you kidding me? You're telling me. So you're going to go up there and you're going to say, are you out of your mind, you racist piece of shit? And I'm just like, whoa. Can we recalibrate? I'm not out of my mind. Stop yelling at me.
Right.
No, I don't mean you. And then they just keep doing it. And it's like I don't know if I'm using the word right. Gaslighting, where like someone talks to you and they're like screaming at you. That's not what they mean, but you're like I'm like, okay.
I don't think that's what gaslighting is. But
I think you're right.
But what I like to imagine is they're going, you racist piece of shit. And like there's someone walking by, and then all they hear is this guy calling you a racist piece of shit. And they're like, yeah, give it to that racist.
Or even worse, I'm supporting him. You racist piece of shit. I know.
Oh, he's proud of it? Oh, my God.
Even worse.
I totally back you up. I totally know what you're talking about. And people.
But it does happen to you.
It does happen to me. I think that people, it's like everyone needs to direct their anger, and then this is usually it usually happens when it's somebody, like obviously the person they're talking about is probably in politics or something, and they can't find that person directly. They can't like actually vent at that person, and so they're venting at you. Like it is a little bit of it. They say, I know I don't mean you, but they're like imagining the person as they're telling you, and it feels aggressive. I know exactly what you're talking about.
They're using me as their release valve.
You're like the stand-in, Yeah. You're like the dartboard, and they put the face of the person they're thinking of on your face, so they can throw darts at you.
You get it. That's exactly what it is. But with this one particular person I'm talking about, it's just nonstop. Like it's like,
Is it nonstop that they get angry at so many different people, or they get angry at one person over and over again, or is it, or they just
no? It's different thing. I mean, it was Trump for a long time.
Yeah.
And then now it's Tony. Kill Tony.
Hinchcliffe.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah. Oh, so
that was a news story. That was like outrageous, whatever. And
is
then,
it a fellow? Wait. But is it a fellow comedian?
Yes.
Friend? Okay, I would assume so. I mean, that's a pretty deep pull for like a random average citizen to be mad at Tony Hinchcliffe. But that's funny, because I was gonna say maybe they're mad at you because you're a comedian and like this guy's a comedian, and then they're taking it out on you. But they're a comedian too.
Yeah,
so
they're
it doesn't even make any sense.
They're a comedian that doesn't know Tony at all, has never heard of him before. I had to tell him who Tony was. He just saw the clip. And then he also did not know, what's the other guy's name?
Trump?
No, the comedian. You saw the clip.
He didn't know who Donald Trump was until you told him.
Yeah, I had
Wait, you get a load of this guy.
He was our president, if you can believe it.
What? I'm going to look into this. This is outrageous.
Yeah, it might make you a little crabby. No, but the comedian that brought him up, the host, it was an Asian comedian.
Yeah. I'm going to get the name wrong, so I don't even want to guess. But
so anyway, so he reached out to the host, because he saw the clip and he was like, what is this going on? He reached out. He found him on Facebook. He didn't know him.
Uh-huh.
Like he wanted to be angry. And he was like, tell me the story. What's going on? Is there something I missed? And so now he's like, So now I just keep getting bombarded with updates. Did you hear anything ever happened with Tony? Did he ever apologize? I don't know. I haven't thought about it since the last time I talked to you.
I know, and that's what you have to do when you're in that. I know. See, I can relate to that too, because that is the move. You have to express absolutely as little interest as possible, because otherwise, if you open the door at all,
Oh yeah.
any like, oh really, or anything like that, or actually, I heard that
Yeah.
it's just another avalanche. So you just have to go
Yeah.
blank faced, like, nah, I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
No,
You have
okay,
to wait. You have to wait for the slightest pause, and then jump into changing the subject. Like, you ever know? You know, who is this Tony? He had a podcast at the. Oh, by the way, I have a pod. There's a podcast I was listening to the other day, and then you just
right.
change gears.
You got to try to hijack it,
Yeah.
but then you realize how uninterested they are in anything that doesn't have to do with them being angry.
Right.
So you try to talk to them about, like, oh, did you see that now they have a machine that can make perfect copies of, and if that doesn't piss them off, they're like, well, I don't, whatever, and then they're out.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one, but I know exactly what you're talking about, and that is annoying. So if you're gonna be mad, don't take the use and the pointing. Sometimes people point when they're mad, and they point at you. Did they do that? That's happened to me.
It's the use. It's the use
Yeah.
that really get me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful with the use, everybody.
Oh, you get it. You
I get
totally
it.
back me up. You know.
I'm backing you up. Okay. Well, I have one here. I just want to. Oh yes, I had to double check to remember. I was so enthralled by yours. So it doesn't happen very often, especially now, like out with the way our society works and stuff. But every once in a while, you'll see on YouTube or somebody, like a guy proposing to his would-be fiance, right? And they get rejected, and they say no. It doesn't happen all that often anymore, but sometimes people actually propose. Do you know anyone that's happened to? I don't actually personally know anyone.
No,
Okay.
I do not.
But it does happen when you hear about it. And everyone feels so sorry for the guy, because it's like embarrassing, and you put yourself out there, vulnerable. So this is kind of what I need backup on. Maybe it's too hot of a take. I don't know. I don't feel sorry for the guy at all. How insane! You have to be like a real sociopath to be at the point where you're gonna ask someone to live with you and be your wife for the rest of your life, and not be sure that they're on the same page. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I know, like in the 1900s, maybe guys would just meet a girl and that day propose and whatever, take a shot, and it was romantic. That's not it. That is not
That's
the
over.
way. That's over. So no, I do not feel sorry for anyone who's been rejected at the altar. Yeah, if you've been left at the altar, but like, if she turns down your proposal, you've really got to like look inward, I think, and go, how am I misreading people this poorly?
That's totally true. If someone told me that happened, they'd be like, "Oh my God, I asked her, she told me no." If I'm friends with this person, in my head, I'd be like,
"Yeah,
do you not communicate? This didn't come up before. You guys, do you not communicate at all?"
She didn't give you any sort of indication or sign or talk about the future. Or there was no, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just like proposing with a ring, like these guys are insane. And it happens.
That just has to be people that are like, "Oh God, we've been together 3 weeks. We're soulmates. We finish each other's sentences. It's just meant to be." And they are out of their minds.
Yeah, I think that is what it is. It's guys who are, maybe just like emotionally totally off, or just confident. Maybe that's like way too. Because I was thinking about this, it's usually probably someone where things have just worked out for them over and over and over again in their life, like nothing bad ever. So when you see them get rejected, that's probably like the first time anything bad's ever happened to them before.
Yeah, so they probably do deserve it.
Yeah, it's like a cosmic sort of realignment.
Right.
Checks and balances. You need. It's nature taking checks and balances, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny because I always get so irritated when like the whole the whole cliche of the moms like hinting, oh, when are we gonna,
Oh, yeah,
my
yeah,
mom,
yeah.
my mom would do that to all my sisters, now husbands, and be like, oh, and like these hints, and I'm always just like, that's not funny. It's annoying.
Yeah.
It might be uncomfortable. I mean, it's not uncomfortable for them because they roll with it, whatever. But like, all you're doing every time you do that, all you're doing is just making the proposal or just that much less special each
Dude,
time.
it's so true.
I hate it.
You're
It's like
taking a
such
little
pet
bit of the
peeve.
surprise, and you're taking a little bit of the surprise out of it for yourself, because part of
Yeah.
the fun is that day you get the call and you hear your son or your granddaughter or whoever is getting married, and every time you like drop the hint,
Yep.
now when you actually get the news, it's going to be more like, finally, you know what I mean? You're not going to have any
Exactly.
joy to it.
Yeah. Oh, finally, now I can start nagging you about kids. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, it shifts quick. But then that's funny because like I don't know, stop me if I've talked about this before on the podcast, but it reminds me of when my wife will
We need a secretary to take notes.
somebody should be keeping track because I definitely can't remember, but my wife sometimes will like drop a hint like what she wants for her birthday or Valentine's Day or something. But then like it'll get recorded. I'll be like, okay. Or like I'll actually just be like, maybe she didn't even drop the hint, but I'm like picked it up because I'm paying
Right.
attention.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
And then she'll like drop the hint again or say it. Then she'll be like, hey, just so you know, on Valentine's Day, I would like those earrings we walked by at that store 3 weeks ago. It's like I got the. Now there's
you
no
get no
credit.
credit now. Now you get no credit.
Zero credit for remembering. I get zero credit for like being cool and like noticing what you like and listening. It's just because you wrote me the idiot guide to getting you a Valentine's Day gift. Now it's just like the expectation, and that's it.
Well, so I went out. All right, so this is my little side story for Mother's Day. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna wow her this year. It's gonna be special. It's gonna be big. And we used to eat in Milwaukee at this place called Beans and Barley all the time. It's like this vegetarian place where they have great burritos, and they have artwork on the store. They have like artists hang their stuff, and there's one period of time where they had this local Milwaukee artist that just had all this cool, like realistic looking paintings of just spots around Milwaukee. And we always thought it was cool. We always talked about getting a piece of art, whatever. And then this was like, 10 years ago or a little less. So this year I was like, and we've always tried to figure out who it was. And I figured out, I did all this. Did I already say this on the thing?
No, I'm excited.
And we tried together to find out who it is or where it was. Anyway, so one day I called the restaurant and I was like, you're not going to, there's this artist. This is what it was like. And usually they're like, I don't know. But I talked to a guy and he's like, oh, let me ask someone else that's been working here longer. And he was like, yeah, I know who that was. That was, and he gave me the guy's Facebook link. So I reached out to the guy on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Find out. I get in contact with him. So I order. I can't afford, real thing. So I got a print. There's like a service you can get a print. So I got a print, like a big print of, this really cool scene in Milwaukee. It's of one of the streets on the east side or whatever. And it was to go, and I had it like framed, like a nice big huge frame matting to go, because she was getting rid of this like lithograph, this giant lithograph she had framed a long time ago for our house in Waukesha, and we were giving that to her brother. So we had to figure out something to get on the wall, but we were just kind of stalling and leaving it. So I got the thing framed. I had it like over 2 months before Mother's Day, just hidden in the basement. I was so excited. And then Mother's Day came, and I gave it to her, and she opened it, and she was like, I was just mad. She wasn't excited enough. She was excited, but not enough. And then she kept being like, oh, and she would like say things that aren't bad, but that aren't good. Like,
right.
You can't, it kind of looks like a photograph. Like, you can't really tell it's a painting. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Do you have any idea how fucking hard it, like, this is it, baby. This is the big one, okay? Unless I come up with something. So now, and since then, it has grown on her. She hung it up. We hung it up, and she's like, "Yeah, it's a lot of. There's a motorcycle because it's like a street. It has all the cars and the houses. Like it's Milwaukee, but there happens to be a motorcycle parked in the street, and that's kind of the focus of the painting, which it has nothing to do with us or anything. But I'm just like, whatever. It's the coolest one. The other ones are kind of not as cool." So I had to decide which of his paintings to get the print of.
It's that thing where, so she opens it and she's like, oh, thank you. And then do you start launching into the whole story to make the present more, you know what I mean?
No, I mean, it was, I would have, but it was pretty self-explanatory. Like, she knew who the art, she's like, is this the guy? And I was like, yeah. And I think she just
still didn't give it up.
She wanted to give it up, but she couldn't for some reason. And then days later,
like that, though. My family's bad. My family's like that, where even if they really appreciate it, or we show no emotion. At least on my mom's side, it's like
you're robots.
You could get me I don't know, an heirloom from 100 years ago that was like a coin from my family's. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And then my mom would go, "Oh, thank you, so thoughtful." You know what I mean? Or you could get her a card from Walmart for $1 that says "Happy Mom's Day," and she goes, "Oh, thank you, so thoughtful." I mean, there's really no differentiating the two. So
yeah, but it's growing on her. It's growing on her.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
So the best thing you could think of to get your mom would be a coin from your family from years ago.
Well, if it had any sort of meaning, I was pretending that there was some mysterious magical coin that my family used to, I don't know, immigrate to the United States. I'm not sure what it was for, but in this example, that coin carries a lot of weight. All right.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So I veered it. What was the topic again?
Oh, people who propose and get rejected we should not feel sorry for.
Of course, yeah. So that's
okay.
Easily
Great.
backed up.
You're backing me up. And we're back. We
All
never
right.
left. Okay. So Johnny, what else do you need backup this week?
Okay, so this is an iffy one. I think we need to, if not cancel, definitely specify new standards for hugging. The hugging, I can't. It's too much. It's too awkward. There are people, I love hugging. If I'm hanging out, if I'm working with Carmen, I know I'm going to be hugging a bunch.
Yeah.
But it's not always that situation. Sometimes it's that weird line and that awkward, are we hugging? Is this a hug thing? Is this,
There does need to be a new standard, just a baseline.
Yeah.
Standard.
It should be, this is my proposal.
Yeah.
Family, immediate family, nip that in the butt, immediate family only, or if you're officially boyfriend, girlfriend. Outside of that, that's it.
So even if you're just dating, you can't hug each other?
Well, I mean, there's, that's a casualty because there are some people that think, oh, this is ridiculous. We're dating. But the guy's like, wait, we're hugging?
You're like the mayor in Footloose. No hugging until you're
no hugging.
Boyfriend,
it's at the call. Yes, that's one of the what's it called? Collateral damage of making this work. It's gonna avoid a lot more.
And there's people who and there's also it's complicated because there's people with different sort of comfortabilities when it comes to COVID and the vaccine. Some people, they get the vaccine and then they're ready to go to a rave and they think it's they want to stress test it. You know what I mean? They want to see.
Hey, let's 69 real quick.
Exactly. And some people get the vaccine and they're still very, very cautious and don't want to eat indoors. And if they see people, they're willing to see people, but don't want to like shake hands or hug, And so that is tricky when you get a hugger who sees someone who's still being cautious and like, oh, I haven't seen you in a year. Yeah. And then they go in and then the other person's like, you know what I mean? It can be a little tricky. So I think you're right. If everyone huggers, you should hold off, I'd say, for at least another 6 months or so.
Even pandemic aside, before the pandemic, there's always like, oh, are we doing this? And then it's like, oh, the half one arm, like, did we just both hug and neither of us wanted to? What the hell was that? Like,
I have that with my father-in-law where it's like, I think we just used to shake hands, and then he got married. He was single when Heidi and I met and got married. Then he is married now, and so of course his wife will want to hug when we're leaving or coming. And so then
awkward to not.
Now he and I, it would be weird to like hug her and then close a business deal with him, So then then it is sort of like a half. It's not an emphatic hug, and it leaves something to be desired all the way around. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like hugging at comedy shows, there would be like someone on an 8-person lineup. There usually would be someone who like even like made a big deal about, oh, I'm a hugger, and like would hug everybody, and even if they met him 5 minutes ago, and that just seems disingenuous,
Well, aside from that, like even like, I mean, like that's Carmen. She is a hugger, and she will hug you if she is just meeting you. But like, and that's fine for her. But you have to. That's not me. I'm the socially like,
You got to get consent.
So it's like, it's easy for them. But not for me, where I'm like, just in this state of social awkwardness, like, is this, So that's why I'm proposing the ban. Yeah, no,
that's a tough one because it's you've struck a very extreme position to ban hugs.
I still family and girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah. Official.
Girlfriends, boyfriends, not even husband and wives. They don't need a hug. We don't need,
What about in-laws count as immediate family, or are they out?
They got to be out. I'm sorry. I can see when it's either or. I just think if there's ever an awkward, they all have to go.
Yeah. I like it. I'm with it.
All right, good.
We're banning hugs. It sounds, you know what banning hugs sounds like? It sounds like something like Sean Hannity would accuse liberals of trying to do, They want to ban hugs. But then we're actually proposing. But here we are. Hey, fight the logic.
This is the cavalry, okay?
We don't pussyfoot around.
Yeah, exactly. We don't hashtag edgy in our bio for no reason.
We should put that in there. It might help the numbers a little bit.
Yeah, we say it. We'll say it. The others won't. Here's the line. Others stop, and we keep going.
We go over. How do you know where the line is if you're not willing to cross it?
Yeah.
Welcome to the cavalry.
Welcome to the cavalry. That's how we should start opening it.
Yeah. We see the line, and we say, hey, fuck you, line. Welcome to the cavalry.
We see the line, hop over it, take a shit on the line, and keep walking. Welcome to the cavalry.
Yeah. I don't believe in lines. That's why my house is a circle.
Wait, what?
I live in a perfect circle. Welcome to the cavalry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, you live in an actual circle house? Yeah. I don't know. Have I not brought that up before?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You didn't. Yeah, I guess I've never been to your house. Was that expensive to build? Very expensive. I went through 4 contractors trying to get it built. Welcome to the cavalry. No one would take the project. They thought I was insane. But I hate lines.
Welcome to the cavalry.
We're changing formats, everybody. We're going shock jock.
Yeah, the edgy shock jock.
Yeah.
All right, what is your? You got another one?
I have one more. I have one more. It's
I got a boner to back you up. I need it.
Okay. Well, you're going to back me up. I know, because I think this one's right up your alley, because you're kind of a tech savvy guy. But my wife, she was like, both of us, I should say, were slow to the airdrops, and we're always confused by like our Apple ID versus, iTunes. It gets very confusing sometimes, but like I have two different emails somehow associated with the thing. I never know which one it is, but anyway, so I've tried to airdrop more because it's like easier for things with bigger file sizes. And actually on the cruise ships is where I learned about airdrops, because you couldn't text stuff to people. So I went to airdrop my wife something the other day, and normally when her phone pops up, again, we're not the most tech savvy, but her phone will just say iPhone. It won't say like Heidi's iPhone or anything. But then this time it said Carla Ablaza. And I was like, oh, I almost airdropped this thing to someone. I assumed it was a neighbor or something, or a neighbor's friend. We don't have a neighbor named Carla. And I was like, I almost airdropped this picture to Carla Ablaza. That would have been embarrassing, And she goes, oh, no, that's me. And I said, what? And she's like, yeah, sometimes my phone, my Apple ID will just say Carla Ablaza. And she's like, I can't figure it out. So I just and I was like, well, how long has that been going on? She's like, oh, for like a few years.
What?
And I was like, what? And I was like, you weren't curious? Or how? I was like, who is that? Like, is that just some random person somehow? She's like, yeah, I think I switched my SIM card a long time ago, and then I don't know, and it's just ever since I've like been Carla Ablaza, and I can't figure out why. And and then no, but so I go, oh, so this is just some random person. She goes, well, no, that's the weird thing. I worked for a Carla Ablaza in Los Angeles when I nannied. And I don't know how it's possible, but somehow she got Carla Ablaza's name like on her Apple ID, and it doesn't happen all the time. But
she
sometimes
didn't switch SIM cards with this Carla.
No, she went to like an Apple store or T-Mobile or I don't know what, and did it, but somehow she got Carla Ablaza on there. And so what I need backup on is not, I don't expect you, I don't think Steve Jobs could figure out how it happened, okay? But what I need backup on is, wouldn't you have been a little more curious and alarmed and like tried to get to she just rolled with it. She was just like, I don't know. And then never brought it up to me, never said anything, never thought it was like strange enough to remark upon or go to an Apple store and ask questions. She just has been rolling with it this entire time.
Yes, I will back you up. I totally, in this specific instance, that is something I would have been like, what in the hell? Tried to get the bottom of, because it's so weird.
Yes. I would be up in the middle of the night. It would just, I couldn't sleep. I would be like, wait, how is it possible? Did we switch phones somehow? Or did
now
her
it's starting,
phone?
now I'm wondering if I'll be able to sleep. Having heard the story, like when you get to the bottom of it, I need you to text me and tell me.
That's the thing. We're never getting to the bottom of it because she just doesn't care enough. So I'm not going to take her phone into the Apple store, or I'm not going to track down this Carla Ablaza. Carla Ablaza, if you're listening, and if your thing ever pops up Heidi Hayward, please
leave us a 5-star review and explain this.
Get a 5-star review. Explain yourself.
We only communicate through 5-star reviews. So how have you not noticed? Have you just not?
That was the first
in 2
time.
years, or just it comes and goes.
She says it comes and goes. That was the first time I ever noticed the name Carla Ablaza, because, like I said, we don't airdrop a lot. We've just started airdropping more, and then that was the first time I've ever seen her phone not just say. Normally, it just says iPhone. That's all it says is iPhone. Like mine, when mine shows up, it says Andrew's iPhone. Or Andrew Slater or something.
Yeah.
So when I see iPhone, I just think that's her because she's the only one nearby. But then I've never seen it say Carla Ablaza. And so when I brought that up to her, I thought she was going to laugh, or she's going to be like, what? My phone is saying I'm Carla Ablaza? That's crazy. But
is there a picture with it?
Oh, that's a good
It's like the
question.
circle. There's a circle. It says the name under.
I don't know. I'll have to ask her. I didn't see a picture. It was just on the airdrop that I saw, and then. But she was almost like not annoyed that I was asking. I think she understood that it was like a curiosity, but she was just had no time for it. She was like, "Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I'm Carla Ablaza. Are you gonna make dinner or what?"
I can understand. I would not. I would backing you up. I totally would, because like with me, I need to know, and all that stuff. But if it's like I could see someone that just doesn't, tech is not their thing, or they don't give a shit, or it's like, how is it? It's not going to affect my life. I could still
That's
deal
true.
with it. Then I understand that, because there are things that are similar that I have just been too lazy to give a shit to figure out, and it's whatever. But
Well, it's kind of like how the government now is like saying UFOs are real or whatever. Like I don't know if you've read any of those stories, but they're like, oh yeah, actually there might have been real UFOs or aliens might be real or something, and no one has any time for. They're like, okay, fine, there's alien. We don't have time.
I don't give a shit.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Give me $600 more. Great,
Yeah.
there's aliens. Did they bring more stimulus checks? That's all I care about.
Oh God.
Oh man. Okay, so you're backing me up, but yeah, and I
Totally.
see your point. I mean, I think for her, it's like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. My phone still works. It doesn't seem to be. No one's stealing from me.
It is
You know?
interesting that she hasn't even brought it up or mentioned
That's
it.
the thing, is she never even mentioned it to me before, which I'm guilty of sometimes. Sometimes I'll like have something happen, or I'll read about something crazy in the news and I'll just forget to bring it up. And then she'll go, "Did you see, so and so, robbed a bank?" And I go, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." She's like, "Why would you not have told me? That's our dear friend, and they robbed a bank. Why didn't you tell me that?" It's like, "Oh, I don't know, got busy.
Just don't care.
I just don't care. I don't know." So I am guilty of that too. So
Yeah.
I gotta take that one. But in all fairness, I would have thought Carla Ablaza would rise to the level of like an interesting dinner conversation, especially considering we have that's Heidi's point to me all the time when I forget stuff. But we run out of stuff to talk, especially during the pandemic. Like we're reaching for conversation topics sometimes. Like we've really kind of covered everything, So when there's something new, Carla Ablaza, that'd be an interesting topic.
Some conversation fodder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it out there.
Sometimes aren't you? Sometimes you're just too tired to talk.
Well,
sometimes she'll be like, "Oh, did you see this? Oh yeah, I did. How do you didn't say anything? I just don't feel like talking. I don't. It's too much energy."
I think you get more tired because you do more than I do. You have 3 kids. You run constantly.
At night.
You seem to work harder than I do. So
No.
I think that I don't quite. It's not a tiredness thing. I actually like talking, and like, I like talking to my wife. Like that's like it's fun. I actually think I like talking to her.
Oh, so you think you guys have a better relationship because you guys like talking to each other? Well, fuck you.
Not implying that. Saying that I don't do, like we have a kid, and so we are very busy, but like not as busy as you probably are. And I don't know. I think I like talking to her more than sometimes I think I talk too much, and she gets bored of me. But
oh, I know that's.
Do you run bits? Do you ever try stuff? Do you ever like not run bits, but like, hey, what do you think about this? Or do you think this?
No. That's just a recipe for
it's
roadblock
hard.
of creativity, because if she doesn't fucking die loving it,
yeah,
it's done.
Yeah, and it's not their fault. Yeah, you're right. And anybody, like, it's hard to sell a joke to someone, just the premise of it, and get the reaction you're actually looking for.
Yeah.
Naturally too, because they could tell you like, "Oh no, I think that's funny," or "Yeah, you could do," but if it's not like an actual, like you see it behind their eyes that they think it's funny, then you're right. It's easy to throw it away.
That'll happen with my brother, like my brother Scott. That's like I'll tell him ideas, and usually he's great, but sometimes like if I don't pick up on the fact that he's like not super focused at the moment, and I like do a premise. And I'll
Yeah.
be like, hey, what do you think? I'm thinking of writing something like this, and he's just, his mind is just elsewhere. And he's like, yeah, no, yeah, I think that's funny. Well, then I'm like, oh, fuck that. That's not funny at all. Forget it. Now I'm fucking mad. I'm a comedian. Fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah, you put so much pressure on people, and then if they're not, you have no idea what they're thinking about at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking it. I'm taking the backup. Taking the cash and letting the credit go, as they say.
Did I say that? Taking the cash and letting the credit
That's
go?
what my mother-in-law says that.
No, I never heard that.
I like this. I think I get what it means. I think it means like take the compliments and leave the perceived slights alone. I don't know.
Well, if you got the time and you got the money. That's my phrase. That's my go-to phrase.
What is that?
I don't know what it means.
When do you pull that one out? Just at any time the conversation gets slower?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
At a dinner party?
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lull.
If you got the time and you got the money.
Then everyone turns towards me. Yeah, well, what about that, Johnny?
I wasn't anticipating a follow-up.
Yes.
I'm going to go grab
I have to take a shit. I'll be back, everyone.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys ever at a party and you can't think of what to say, here's a little life hack for you. Just tell everybody, I have to take a huge shit. And walk away.
Welcome to the Cavalry.
Welcome to the Cavalry. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Yes, leave a 5-star review. Follow
And
us on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.
And join the Patreon, patreon.com/the Cavalry Podcast. Bonus stuff on there for you. Only way to get it on the Patreon. An episode with our wives and a new bonus episode every month. So check that out, and we'll see you next time on
The Cavalry.